Starting off today with a KitchenAid toaster. Sold one of these before. It was the red one. I sold it for about $30 plus shipping, but the gray one only goes for about $24. So $8 into 24 is a pretty good margin. That's about doubling my money, and it's in pretty clean condition. Usually sometimes toasters would have so much stuff in here that it's not really worth the hassle, but only gonna have to spend a few minutes cleaning this, so we'll pick it up. Got this food processor attachment made by Ninja. Always look for the actual Ninja emblem on here. There's a lot of Chinese knockoffs out there that won't have the actual logo, so make sure to look for that. If it doesn't have it, don't take the risk. I don't know how much all these little blades will go for, but I have sold the bowl itself many times for about $40 plus shipping, and we're getting it for only $6. All right, got a couple DVD VCR combo players. Definitely picking the Sony one up for only $14, because if it works, it goes for about $60. But I'm actually going to leave behind this Magnavox one. It would also go for about $60. However, you can see that this top part came off, and I think someone was trying to repair it, but they couldn't, so they just decided to donate it, or else like how else would this thing just pop off? So I'm not going to take a risk. Got this Ninja blender. Comes with one full set and then an extra pitcher with that little blade stem. Paying $30, which is pretty high, but I know that the pitcher here will go for $50. The one without the lid will still go for about $30. The motor will go for about $25, and that blade will go for about $15. So that's about $80 worth of stuff, getting it for $30. Good enough deal. Pretty cool find. Bosch is a good company to look for coffee makers. This is the Tassimo line. It is the CTP M05, I believe. Definitely paying up, getting it for $25, but there are 0 listed, 2 sold with an average sales price of about $70 plus shipping. But because there are none other listed, I think I'm going to list mine for $80 plus shipping and see how fast it moves. You've probably seen this logo used in reselling content. This is Corningware Blue Corn Flour. It's pretty popular, though I think it's a little bit oversaturated because how popular other reselling YouTubers like to point these out. If you get like the pots or, you know, those little casserole dishes, they only go for about $20 plus shipping, which, you know, that might fit your margins depending on how much you get it for. But this is a carafe for coffee. It's only $6, and there are 16 listed, 30 sold. Average sales price of $50 plus shipping. So when you find more unique pieces like this is just a carafe instead of just the casserole dishes, they'll go for more money. Check out this little guy. This is a General Electric Space Maker coffee maker. Usually you would put this underneath your cabinet or whatever so that you can free up space on your counter. Even comes with a little clock. Getting this for about $9. Has a 100% sell-through rate and an average sales price of about $40 plus shipping. Definitely going to pick this up. This is just a really cool vintage piece. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the actual coffee maker to look up the model number of this Mr. Coffee Carafe. However, I know that I sold something similar to this before, and when I looked up the actual listing, I realized this is the exact same as the one I sold before, and it's in roughly the same condition, getting it for $6. And I know based off of that comparison that this thing goes for about $30 plus shipping. Just to anyone that thinks that you can't sell anything on eBay, this is literally photo paper, everyday photo paper that you would put in your printer. It is $6, so I'm not going to get it because it goes for about $10 to $11 plus shipping. But you can imagine how easy it would be to ship this if you have a poly mailer that's big enough for it. And it has like a semi-decent sell-through rate. So if you found this for 50 cents or $1 at a yard sale, it would definitely be worth picking up because of how easy it is to list and ship. Just goes to show that really anything can be of value. So you got to look up everything you find. Check out the price on that guy. $350 for apparently 18 karat gold china. No idea if it's real or not, but a couple weeks ago they had this for $1,500, so it looks like they don't have any takers. They do have a $600 bracelet and a, can't really see, a $1,000 watch. So yeah, if you want to buy a $1,000 watch, just come to this thrift store and they'll happily take your money. I'm actually very, very surprised that the thrift store changed the price of that china set from $1,500 to $350. Because usually these Second Avenues, they don't mind sitting on stuff for a very long time. If I could sell each piece for like 40 to 50 bucks, I'd make about $5,000 on like that 96 piece set, which for $350 would be absolutely worth it. But I looked it up and there's only a few sales where Only a few pieces are going for a good amount of money. So I really don't know what type of buyer is going to spend $350 on that. I feel like the thrift store would do better by selling it to a wholesaler or something like that, but I don't know. Just got these pair of Lexus NX OEM floor mats, paying $7 for them. They have about a 300% sell-through rate, selling as the front driver and the front passenger. The other two just aren't here, so I can only sell these two. And it goes for about $30 plus shipping. So $7 into $30 plus shipping, I'll take that. I don't know what it is about this specific 2nd Avenue location, but I'm always able to find some kinds of floor mats. Found those ones earlier, and then I found these Toyota Sienna floor mats. Once again, only the top driver and passenger side. We are paying a little bit more. We're paying $8 for these, but they actually go for a lot more. 0 listed, 2 sold for just the pair of the front, and it goes for about $80 plus shipping. So $8 into $80 plus shipping is really good. And you can see there are just a few more mats I'm going to look through. All right, taking a bit of a gamble with these orange floor mats. Altogether, it's going to be about $15, which is a little bit more than I usually pay for, but it's okay. 0 listed, 1 sold for this exact one at $115. And you can see by the listing up here is very, very dirty. So I could probably get about $170, $180. I did see that there was a set of 4, just like this one, that sold for $300 on eBay used. But both of those listings have slightly different models of the car. So when I get home, I'll just do some research and see what I can find. Worst case scenario, I can sell it for about $120 because I'll be the only one listed with these orange ones and one has already sold. But best case scenario, I can get about $300 for these guys. So this is definitely going to be a somewhat risk, but worst case scenario, I still make a ton of money. All right, just ended up getting those 3 sets of floor mats, which if it wasn't for the fact that the orange ones might go for $300, it would have been a pretty mediocre stop. But because of that, it was actually a very good stop. But I wanted to talk about something. At the thrift store I just went to in Fairless Hills, PA, they had a camera. It was a Nikon S9500 that they were selling for $115, and it goes for about $250 on eBay. So assuming it worked and everything, it would have been a great find for me. I would be able to flip it pretty easily. However, the shutter was broken, it didn't have a charger, and there was some gunk on it, as well as it not coming with a battery. Now, I'm not one to price shame thrift stores. I believe businesses should be able to sell whatever they want for as much as they want. I'm very pro-business in that regard. So this is not coming from me as a customer. This is coming from me as a business owner. I don't know why a thrift store would sell a camera in that condition for that price, because that's how much an S9500 goes for parts on eBay. So they really just match what it is for parts on eBay. The people who are willing to buy a broken camera because they want to fix it, they are not going to buy it at this thrift store because they do not have a return policy. You cannot return electronics whatsoever. But at least on eBay, you know that if somebody falsifies their listing, if they say that this doesn't work and this does, but really nothing works, then you can get a return. And also, it's just a very straightforward process. But with this thrift store, there's no testing and there's no way that you can get your money back because this thrift store is not going to allow returns of any kind. And also, what are the odds that a camera repair person is going to walk into this very thrift store and find this S9500 and buying it to resell? Now, I know that they shouldn't sell this for $5, but I don't think that thrift stores, from a business perspective, this is a business owner to a business owner, I don't think it's the correct move to sell things that are hundreds of dollars for hundreds of dollars, because there's not a situation out there where it makes more sense to buy the same product at a thrift store versus buying it on eBay, because on eBay you have protections and you have the ability to return something. I know I'm just yapping, but let me know in the comments if you agree with me, or if you don't agree with me, just say why, and maybe we can have some open discussions about it. Got this Krups aroma control coffee maker with the corresponding carafe, getting it for about $11. This thing has a really fast sell-through rate, around 400%, and it goes for anywhere between $60 to $80 plus shipping for just a coffee maker. Pretty good find here. We are at the red, white, and blue thrift store in Hamilton, New Jersey. This is a Dyson DC39. one of those floor vacuums that have these really big wands and hoses to get under, you know, like your couches, whatever. Paying $35 for it, which is a really good price because I can part this out a lot. The canister will go for about 30. This body will go for about 50. The wand here will go for about 25. This hose will go for about 20. And the head will go for about 30. I didn't add that all up, so I'll just put it right here. So turning $35 into this number, pretty good deal. Check out this pretty cool toaster made by Breville. You guys know Breville is a really good company for kitchen stuff. Look how long it is. You can put in a whole slice of sourdough bread in there. This is probably what this is for. It's only $8. There's about a 300% sell-through rate of about $45 plus shipping. And found this other Dyson vacuum. I think it's the UP15. Canister goes for about 30-ish, and the brush head goes for about 70, so 100 bucks. And we're getting it for about $30. Guess today is toaster day. Found another toaster. This one made by KitchenAid. You guys all know about KitchenAid. Also paying $8 for this, and it goes for between $25 and $35 plus shipping. I think the black colorway is a little bit more. And you can see it's decently clean inside. Just got to take a little brush, take out some of those crumbs. Very rarely will you find a larger kitchen appliance made by Panasonic. Usually they'll just make more handheld kitchen stuff. Some of their rice cookers go really well, but this is a bread maker. Very few bread making models actually go well. Usually it's just Zojirushi, but apparently Panasonic has a model that goes for a lot of money. This is only $8. Right now there are 0 listed, and I believe 5 or 6 sold for an average sales price of $70 plus shipping. So $8 into $70 plus shipping, definitely a good find. Now I'm in the electronics department. You guys seen me pick these up before. Today's 25% off on red tag, so I'm gonna get this for about $12. And I sell these pretty consistently for $35 plus shipping. Love finding these Apple airport stations, getting it for $10. I can tell just by the heft of it compared to the other ones that this one goes for a lot more because there's just more inside here. It is the A1470, has about a 90% sell-through rate, goes for about $30 plus shipping. I almost pissed myself because I found this HP LaserJet toner and scanned it using the UPC code. I was only going to pay $8 and it would have been worth about $160, but found out that the toner is actually used and open, so it's worthless. But definitely be on the lookout for these.